shadow on the wall that looks like a man. Lord, that lamp just moved on that stand. I got movement in the cellars, I got footsteps in the hall. There's no time to waste, I better make some calls. I gotta get ready, make everything right, 'cause all my rowdy friends are ghost hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mine. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are ghost hunting tonight. This old house has a long history. It should be real good for activity. And we got the house wired for sound and got motion alarms setting all around. Got a box full of batteries ready to go, and everyone's itching to start this show. Got our logo tees, driving black SUVs, and that one bald guy with a slick goatee. Hey, round up the team. Let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mine. Well, there's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are ghost hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team. Let's get started. Hey, this is your big brother Mike calling. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are ghost hunting tonight. That's right.
Hi everybody and welcome to PEMA TV. It is April 5th, 2013 and no Yeti again. I'd like to remind everybody that in 1 month, Lower Catskills Paracon, Napanock, New York, at the Shanley Hotel in the Shivangi Valley Senior Center. It's a dual venue event. We have lots of speakers. We still have vendors booths available. We don't have any of the only rooms left we have at the Shanley are investigator rooms, which is basically bring a sleeping bag or bring an air mattress, because all the beds are taken now. We are sold out. There are 2 weeks left on the network to get your tickets with the discounts. The bigger the package, the more the discount. So if you need your tickets, run over there and grab them real quick, because there's 2 weeks left and then they go away and everything becomes a la carte. And with that being said, my guest tonight is Nick Lantz. He is the founder and lead investigator for Redemption Paranormal. He is He's sensitive. He's a radio host for your Spirit Beacon, lecturer, researcher, writer, and apparently he does a whole lot of events, but we seem to completely miss each other every single time. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Lantz. Hi, Nick.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. I know college and Friday nights tend to get a little busy.
A little bit.
So, what was your last event? Were you at Phenomenology?
Yeah, it was. That was an incredible event. That's my mom and mine. That's her favorite event. We always have a great time there.
Yeah, we were at the Texas Paranormal Unity Fest that weekend.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of missed each other again. It seems like every time we end up at an event, you're somewhere on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
I think the last time we were at, where were we? We were at Full Moon Tattoo and Horror, and you guys were at the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah.
So
eventually we'll be at the same convention, maybe.
Eventually, well, ours isn't that far from you. If you guys, want to show up and get a booth and hang out.
Heck yeah.
It's May 3rd and 4th up at the Shanley Hotel. We've also got the Senior Center directly across the street, so we can mix and match and not have everybody all bundled up together.
Nice. That's awesome.
And you're in Pennsylvania or Ohio?
Ohio.
I couldn't remember. There's that thing right there.
Yes, I'm currently living in Athens, Ohio, which is towards, I guess it's close towards West Virginia.
Right. Well, it's not too awful far.
No, it's not too bad.
No, because I remember what was it, about a month ago, one of the guys in your dorm or something had mentioned that there was a metaphysical festival going on, and you're like, dang it, no one told me till it was too late.
Yeah.
You're like, Mom would have got a booth. Yeah. And you said, Mom would have got a booth. We'd have been all over this. And
oh yeah, for sure.
But
absolutely.
It was on an odd day. It was like a Thursday when you posted, or a Wednesday.
Yeah, it was just it wasn't really heavily advertised either. They just had like one poster hanging up somewhere.
Ooh. Yeah,
that's all right.
We've got postcards from here to Canada and back, I think. But Redemption Paranormal, I kind of know why you got into the metaphysical side because of Mom, but what made you decide, okay, I'm going to make my own team and go out there and conquer the world?
Well, I mean, my mom's, it all goes back to my mom. I mean, my mom also, she was a member of some groups early on. Eventually, I got older, and I really wanted to go out. So my mom took me, and I enjoyed it. I started getting really into it, studying things on my own. And then eventually I got to the point where I was going out with my mom's team. I got to know the team a little bit, and they started they liked me, and they invited me to be a member. So that was how I initially got involved in it all.
So I have to ask, what did the guys at school say?
Well, I'm at college right now.
Right.
And everyone, because I'm very honest and open about it, and so far everyone's actually seemed to really think it's cool, and it's kind of funny. Lots of times they ask me to take them out sometime on investigation. But yeah, I go to Ohio University, which is a very haunted campus. So people tend to be pretty open-minded about that here. But in high school, though, I definitely was very quiet about it. At least to my, to my really close friends.
Right. Well, I mean, after the, Paranormal State that actually started their group in college, have you added team members, or are most of your team members from your college, or are they just friends?
All the guys that are on my team currently are actually not going to college here. They're actually back home in Delaware, Ohio, and they're going to some community colleges there right now. But so it's kind of slow for us, and plus the three guys in my group are also in a band, and they're touring a lot, and they just released another album, I think. So they're kind of busy, but once school's over, it'll pick back up again because I'll be back home, and they're going to be done touring, and we're just going to use their van and go around a lot during the summer. So currently it's kind of slow, but I am considering starting some sort of group at Ohio University, not necessarily a paranormal investigation team, but I have been thinking about a student research organization, not like Paranormal State by any means, but like Well, the University of Kentucky has one. It's just a student paranormal research organization, like a club, really. And I've been considering doing that for a while now, so we'll see what happens.
That's not a bad idea, though. I mean, very few colleges have it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and it surprised me when I found out that OU does not have one, because several years ago it was ranked the 13th most haunted city in the world by the British Society of Psychical Research. So it's definitely one of the most haunted colleges in America. So I'm kind of surprised there's not already one here, but there might be one eventually. We'll see what happens.
So are the rest of the guys on your team auditioning for the orb tones?
For the what?
The orb tones.
No, they play a little different style music.
Ah, I wouldn't think so, but hey, it's in the paranormal. You got to go there.
Oh yeah, they could probably jam out with them.
Oh yeah. And between the two of us, we know a lot of the same people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We like I said, we just kind of miss each other, because this weekend, who was it? Ken Gerhardt, David Roundtree, Tracy Ray, Lyle.
Yeah.
All of those guys were there, and it's like, well, you're not here, and where are you? And it's like, okay, crazies. And Dakota, and bless his heart, I mean, please send prayers out to Dakota. His grandmother did pass away this afternoon.
Yeah.
Which was really, he's been worried about it, and he's been spending a lot of time at the hospital, but he's also supposed to be here this weekend, so he's really tore up right now.
Yeah, I'm sure. I love Dakota to death. He's a great person.
Oh my God, he is such a riot. I had a pink balloon tied to my ponytail so I wouldn't get lost. And he decided he had to sign it, and my Dakota balloon is still alive 2 weeks later. Which I think is all kinds of funny, because that thing should have deflated a long time ago. But you have your own radio show?
Well, we did. We're not doing it right now. We're not doing it anymore. But just because it got harder with me away at school and mom back home and just trying to organize everything. So we called it quits on that. But my mom actually is doing now co-hosting a show with a group called Paravisions, and the show's called Looking Into the Unknown, and it's on, I think, Thursday nights on Z-Talk Radio.
Okay.
But as for me, I need to update my bio. I'm no longer doing the radio show, at least not right now.
Okay, then writer? This one I didn't know about. You're a writer.
Yeah, I've written several articles. Just I post them online. I've lots of them are on. I think some of them are on. I have no idea where they're at. A couple of them are on Examiner.com, and they might have some links up. There might be some on my Facebook somewhere. Who knows? But they're out there though. I'm very disorganized.
No, you're kidding. With the full college load and all the events and everything else you have to deal with, you're unorganized?
Yeah.
I would think you'd have a harder time trying to figure out which day it was sometimes.
Yeah. I definitely could work on my organization skills a little bit more.
Well, that's what you got Mom for, so she can call and remind you.
Yeah.
And in case I didn't say it, his mom is Deb Lantz. Or
yes.
Deb Mama something Lance. She keeps changing it.
Her people started calling her Paramama because whenever she goes to events, she just has this this motherly vibe about her, and everyone just starts calling her Mom, like hey Mom, joking around. And then one day someone just called her Paramama, and so we Now she's dead Paramama Lantz.
That's it. I knew the mama was in. I couldn't remember the para part. So it says, I think it's clairvoyant and sensitive. I kind of abbreviated and forgot how I did it. How old were you when you realized you had these abilities or gifts, and without mom's help?
This would have been when I was. This was also kind of a frightening time for me. I was very young. It was in our old house. I was probably, I want to say, between the age of 6 and 10, I'd say. I was in our old house, and I would spend every night under my covers, terrified, because I would see these just balls of light floating around through my room, and sometimes I'd see full-bodied apparitions in my room walking around, and it's usually not that intense, but in the beginning of it was, and I just saw a bunch of stuff, and I felt like that stereotypical kid who had a bunch of stuff going on, and no one believed him, and it was a hard time for me, but we had a bunch of other scary stuff happen, and my parents would try to tell me, it's just your imagination, but later I found out they were just saying that so I wouldn't get scared, but they knew something was going on, and I guess that's probably the first that I remember of showing some sign of ability. But my mom will tell you stories about me as a really little kid, back when I don't remember, just talking to people that aren't there, and carrying on full conversations and things like that. And so I guess it goes pretty far back.
So do you find it like college is usually, some of the classes are more crowded than others? Do you find it kind of difficult to concentrate with all the other energies in the room?
Not at all, actually. I'm not empathic at all. So, my mom, she can't handle large crowds. She hates them all, things like that.
Right.
Honestly, for me, I keep myself very, very grounded, and I protect myself really well. And I've never had much of a problem with getting overpowered by other people's energies. I'm usually pretty in touch with my own. So I actually don't have that problem, thankfully.
Do you know Deanna Kelly?
The name sounds familiar.
Well, going back to your between 8 and 10 years old, or 6 and 10 years old, when you first picked this up, she actually did a survey, and about 98% of everybody in the paranormal had their first experience before the age of 12.
Mm.
I found that fascinating.
Yeah.
Because, so many, much like you were, it's your imagination, go back to sleep, eventually blocked it out.
Yeah.
That they didn't even give it a thought when, ghost hunters and everything else hit the TV and everybody started these teams.
Right. Right.
But I found that interesting that she had pretty much pegged the age.
Yeah.
Because, most people, it's dogs and babies because nobody has told them they can't yet.
Right.
But when you go through the survey, it was somewhere more like between 6 and 12. Yeah, 6 and 12.
Yeah. 13 usually tends to be a pretty significant number too for gifted children. It's that age, with just puberty and everything. You have a lot of I think it's called psychokinetic energy, and basically, sensitive kids, 13 tends to be a pretty crazy age, and actually lots of paranormal activity that revolves around children. Um, it's interesting, but when you look at the patterns, a lot of it tends to involve a 13-year-old.
Well, isn't most of it, or the bulk of it, usually females?
In terms of psychic ability, I would say so. I mean, that just appears that way. You know, women tend to be more sensitive than men. But you know, I'm obviously a guy, so.
Well, no, nothing against guys. It's just that most of the
Right.
time they say right around the time a girl hits puberty is usually when things start coming around
Oh, yeah.
or messing with them. That's when a lot of the PK starts.
hmm Yeah, my sister, we had some weird stuff kind of go down when she was 13. When I turned 13, for me, I didn't, the walls weren't shaking or anything like that. But when I turned 13, that's when I had my dream about my past life, and then that's when my whole past life story started when I was 13.
So you both got hit around 13, but in different ways.
Well, I'd say it's always been there, but I'd say 13 tends to be an age where things kind of amp up or
Right.
just get a little out of hand.
Well, that's what I was meaning, but only in different ways. Yours was the dreams,
Right.
and hers was more a different.
Right, exactly.
Well, I've seen different stories and stuff about usually girls, not always. No
Right.
offense, Nick, whatsoever. But usually,
No, absolutely.
usually when a girl's 13 is when a lot of poltergeist activity starts.
Yep, absolutely. And I believe the story of The Exorcist, the original story,
Right.
it was actually a male.
Yes, it was.
I believe the boy was actually 13 when it happened, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But I think he was 13.
And from my hometown,
Oh, really?
St. Louis.
Wow.
Yeah, we actually went to Calvary Cemetery and visited the grave of the priest who did the original exorcism.
Oh, that's cool.
It's something
That's really
different.
cool.
I mean, the house where it all originally started is actually on Warshue's campus,
hmm
which is the medical school there.
Wait, did you say Washington campus?
Yep. Washington University in St. Louis.
Oh, okay. My grandmother went there.
Yeah, the original house is still part of their property.
Well, I bet she had no idea.
A lot of people don't, because when you see the movie, everything was based in the Northeast.
Right.
But there were articles in the newspaper, and it was actually on the news. He was actually sent to Election Brothers Hospital in St. Louis, and that's where they tried the first exorcism.
hmm
And when they went to tear down that wing, the giant medicine balls, the wrecking balls,
Yep.
when it swung toward the building, it actually swerved away from it. It would not hit that room. They had to implode that wing.
That's interesting. I never heard that story before.
I remember watching it on TV when I was little going, oh, because they actually filmed the wrecking ball swerving away.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But yeah, it originated in St. Louis. I mean, eventually they had moved him to the Northeast, and that's where he had his final exorcism, and finally it was released. But it started in St. Louis.
Yep. Well, that's really cool, though. I had no idea it was on Washington's campus.
Yeah. It's on the loop.
That's so cool.
Well, that's also where Nelly's from, and the rapper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know he's from there either.
Oh, yeah. We actually have a lot of big names from St. Louis that nobody pays attention to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Columbus has nothing. we've got Rascal Flats, and that's about it.
We had John Goodman from Roseanne.
Okay.
We had Phyllis Diller. We had Tina Turner.
Jeez.
Chuck Berry still has Blueberry Hill restaurant there because he was born and raised there. So yeah.
Huh.
Actually, his restaurant is on the loop, like 4 blocks from the university.
Okay.
See what you're missing, Nick?
Yeah, I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff.
But yeah, the priest is actually buried in Calvary Cemetery there in the back in the Jesuit priests area.
Okay. Well, whenever I get down to St. Louis, I definitely want to check that out. That's really cool.
Oh, absolutely. I had my old team is still there, and one of them is friends with the guy who now owns the building that it started in over on WashU.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, there's that building, and he can take you to the grave and everything else. Just let us know, and I'll say, hey, hook him up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, what do you prefer? Do you prefer homes, or do you prefer businesses when you investigate?
That's a good question. That's a hard question. I think home investigations, when done right, are more satisfying because you're actually helping someone. But I think investigating some commercial location, I think, tends to be more fun. Just because a lot of times it's just me and the guys, and
Right.
we're sending the equipment. We'll be there all night. We don't have to worry about the homeowners or anything. It's just we're just us doing our thing. But I definitely think home investigations are more rewarding.
Well, I think the larger buildings, the commercial buildings, tend to be a little bit more fun because you can go in and try different experiments, and if you're in good with the people who own the building, you can go back and redo the experiments over and over in the same atmosphere, the same everything, multiple times. When in a private home, you really can't. I mean,
exactly.
When you're in a private home, you're there to help those people. When you're in a public building, it's pretty much game on.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I mean, I like them both. But like you, it's different reasons. I've done more commercial. We've only done a few residential, but one of them we actually helped this little boy a lot, and it was nothing paranormal. It was the way their house was built. They had the main electricity, main phone, main cable, main everything, and the main transformer right outside their front door, and the wires literally encircled their house on 3 sides.
Okay.
And this poor kid, his bedroom used to be Grandma's office, so there were like 4 live landlines in there. They had every plug-in with extension cords and power bars hooked into everything, so there was like 12,000 power cords going. And this kid was terrified, but you couldn't put a piece of equipment down on his bed without pegging it out.
Yeah.
So once we explained all that to him, and they removed some of the phone lines and unplugged a few things, he was actually able to start going back into his bedroom, and that was our goal.
Yeah. Well, it's good. Good.
Because this poor kid he was terrified.
Yeah. I can only imagine there's probably a lot of high levels of EMF in that room.
Oh, it was horrible. If you put down a ghost meter or an EMF detector, it would completely peg out.
Yeah. That's not good.
It all the lights would light up, and it would just stay there. There was no variations. There was no light blinks. It was just straight on. So, but we went back again, and I've called them off and on over the last couple of years, just checking in and making sure things are still the way they're supposed to be. And so far, he's been able to eventually get back in that room, and now he like lives in there again.
Yeah.
So that's very cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what do you think about the investigations at the events?
At the events?
Yeah.
I don't consider them investigations. Because they're really not they're ghost hunts,
right?
And I complain about them as much as everyone else does, but at the end of the day, I really don't mind the ghost hunts of these events because I go in with the approach, with the mental approach that it's a ghost hunt. I'm not seriously trying to investigate. I'm here to lead this group of paying paranormal fans and enthusiasts to take them around and hopefully show them some equipment and hopefully have something cool happen. We're not seriously investigating. So I don't mind them just because I go in with that mindset.
Right.
If I had to choose though between going on an investigation and at an event and just chilling back at the bar, the lounge, wherever the little parties happen, these conventions, wherever it's at, I would just choose to stay back, and hang out with friends and network because it's kind of funny because it seems like most people feel that way too. It's like we come to a paranormal convention and we don't want to, go ghost hunting,
right?
But it's like we just want to. Social, it's like lots of times these events are kind of like family reunions in many ways, and we just want to sit back and enjoy each other's company, have fun, and go, network. That's a big thing. So
well, and even if you go to say 20 conventions, you don't always see the same group.
Right.
Some may be like us. I mean, we're constantly missing each other, but we're always at different events.
Right.
So, I mean, when you do run into them, you want to hang out with them.
Oh, yeah.
But
sure.
Hopefully, even if you are on the ghost hunt, maybe, someone walks away with something they didn't know before and either pulls them either more into the paranormal or makes them decide, forget this, I'm out. But
right.
if they learn something, that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I actually, I kind of like when I go on or if I'm leading a ghost hunt at a convention, I'll bring out my ghost box and it'll start, making noise and stuff. And a lot of times, some of the people there, get really excited, like, oh, just said my name. I'm like, and I'm very skeptical with my equipment. Mm-hmm. It's funny to be a skeptical psychic, but I'm very, in many ways, kind of, I don't want to say left brain, but I'm very logical,
right,
and skeptical. And, instead of, bursting their bubble and saying, oh, that was, this radio station, that's not what you're hearing, this is what you're hearing, I just kind of go, oh, interesting. Because, they're not seriously investigating either. They're going for a thrill.
Right, and if they walk out,
they're there to have. It's like they're paying to come out here for a thrill. So if they think this box just said their name, all right, that's fine. As long as you feel like you got your money's worth.
Right, if they walk away with a good story, all the better.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're trying to set up we're having an investigation up at the Shanley too, but there's also the well and the old post office across the street, so hopefully we won't tangle each other up.
Yeah.
We're trying not to. But the way we had it set up is we have all the vendors over at the senior center and the speakers at the hotel. That way they're not trying to talk over the crowds or the crowds don't die down because they'd rather sit down and listen to the speaker.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried to keep them completely separate. Not too large, we didn't get a really large building, but we took 2 smaller ones and put them together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something different.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
And we've got David Roundtree in charge of the ghost hunt, so beware. He said that he had some new experiments he wanted to try, so it's like, okay, you get this.
Excellent.
So what do you have coming up anytime soon?
Well, we just got done with a major, I guess, series of events. I mean, I had a convention. Then the following weekend we did some filming. Then the following convention I had the following weekend I had another convention. Then it was Easter, and now it's this weekend. And then I think I have a few weeks until our next convention, which will be April 27th, which is Tri-County Parafest in Fostoria, Ohio. And so that'll be my next event. And then I think we're thinking there might be an event or two in May, or we're not sure yet. But nothing's set in stone.
Well, like I said, if you guys happen first weekend in May, we're not that far.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, we got a very eclectic group of speakers.
Okay.
And, well, I mean, a lot of times you look at these posters, and there are like 5 or 6 people who are always on the posters. Almost every poster. So we have, like my co-host Mary, she's an animal communicator. We do have David Roundtree, Tracy Ray, and Jody Cook. But then
I love Jody.
Jody is so nice. I mean, he's been on our show a few times. He's always so fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. He's a cool guy.
And then we have Athena Veronis and Deborah Heinecker. They're from Vesuvius Investigative Services. They do a lot of cold cases or missing person cases.
Okay.
Deborah... oh, excuse me. Deborah is a psychic, and Athena is actually former FBI.
Okay, that's cool.
Well, she was also called in to, she was Jodie Foster's consultant in The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, okay.
So Jodie Foster knew how to act like an FBI agent, because they're like, okay, you're in the dark. He's walking toward you. You think he's walking toward you. Shoot twice. And she's like, heck no, unload.
Yeah.
If you can't see him, unload the gun. Just keep shooting till you hear something crash.
Yeah, shoot until you hear a scream.
Absolutely. So we have that.
Or the word ouch.
And we have Betty Comerford and Steve Wilson, who are both paranormal investigators, but they're both shaman.
Okay.
And then we have Patty Zakis, who is a psychic, but she's coming out of Canada. She's the lead investigator at the Slessy Park up there. So we got a few of the bigger names, but there are a lot of people out there who really don't get a chance.
Yeah.
And we wanted to bring something new to the table, so it's not the same 12 people. Not that I have anything against those 12 people. Most of them I absolutely adore. But
Right.
we wanted to make it different. And you can walk between the Shanley Hotel and the Senior Center, look up at the Lower Catskills, and see the Witch's Bowl.
Oh, that's neat.
So we made it, different.
Yeah, well, different's good.
Different's always good. And we made it reasonable, so it's not... I was looking at this one. Have you seen the Paracamp thing yet?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
$600 for 3 nights.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one yet.
Yeah. It's 3 nights, 4 nights, or 6 nights. It's $600, $800, or $1,100, or you can pay $200 down and pay the rest by June 1st.
Okay.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. I am a it's kind of funny. I'm a poor college student, so that's like not exactly something I could do easily right now.
Right.
But,
with the economy, who can? Seriously.
Exactly. I think I said to my friend the other day, you're a poor college student when you resort to squirting Febreze on your clothes.
Just so you don't have to wash them again. Flip them inside out, even wear.
Exactly.
Don't you let your mom hear you say that. So you do a lot of lectures. Is there any particular topic that's your favorite, or do you pretty much just cover everything?
Well, our most requested lecture would be, it's called The Past Lives, the Reincarnation of a Confederate Soldier. And that's actually my personal story and account of how I discovered my past life and how I did research and, found some supporting facts. And, it's just my personal story. And that's definitely our most popular lecture. And that was originally a 2012 lecture series, but we were going to do some different lectures this year. But the events we were going to, people kept asking, hey, are you do your past life lecture again? So now we're just doing that again because we've had so many requests for it.
Do you know where you were?
As in the past life?
Yes.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Really? Where at in Tennessee? Stone River? Morgan's Crossing?
No, it was, I guess it would be south central. I'm trying to think on a map where it was. It's near the town of Franklin, Tennessee.
Okay.
Or at least, it's kind of near there.
Well, that's where the Stone River battle was.
Right.
And that's where the, what do they call them? The death pits are.
There's several battles around there.
Well, they have a whole park thing. What do they call it? The Civil War National Park or something right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've visited there many times. Love it.
Yeah, we actually lived in just outside Murfreesboro for a little while.
Oh, that's cool.
So, that's how I know that. And we did an investigation at an antique store a few times up in Lebanon, and that's where Morgan's Crossing was.
Okay.
But I've been to Gettysburg too, finally. Yay!
Oh, I love Gettysburg so much.
We go up there, the slaughter pen. Thank you, Cynthia. I was calling it the death pit. It's the slaughter pen. Cynthia actually lives in Murfreesboro.
Oh, okay.
But
cool.
Mary's had a few events up in Gettysburg at the Battlefield Bed and Breakfast, which is actually on the South Battlefield.
Yep.
It is the coolest bed and breakfast ever. We got so much craziness going on up there. We're sitting up in our room.
Yeah.
We had some part of our team out in the barn investigating, and I'm terrified of horses, so I don't go in the barn. And so I'm sitting up in my room, and I'm eating while they're down there, and we hear gunshots. And we're calling down, do you guys hear that? No, we don't hear anything, and they're outside. But we've heard drums. We actually saw a shadow and got some EVP out of the basement and all kinds of craziness. But it's the coolest bed and breakfast I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
And the building was the building was built in like 1809, the original part of it.
Yeah, Gettysburg is just such a neat town. There's so much to see and so many neat little things. That's where that last event we were at, Phenomenology.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Gettysburg.
Right.
Which is kind of one of the reasons why it's our favorite convention. Because it's in Gettysburg. I mean, of all places.
Well, unfortunately, every time I've made it to Gettysburg, some natural disaster has hit.
Oh, God.
It's like 2 years ago, we were at the Shanley when that freak blizzard came in on Halloween.
Yep.
And we were supposed to go from there to Gettysburg, but we had to take a day's break to let that calm down. And then this year we were there when Hurricane Sandy decided to come in.
Yeah.
So I don't get to explore the area very much when I'm there.
Girl.
But it's great that the bed and breakfast is lovely because I can hang out there all day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Next time, I highly recommend the Dobbin House. That's a bed and breakfast just as you're driving in town. We stay there. We stay there quite a bit. That's a really awesome one. And they always have a delicious, homemade breakfast for you there, too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really neat.
Yes, so does the Battlefield Bed and Breakfast, and they make this great cobbler. Never heard of it, but this is insane good.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to check it out sometime.
The lady who owns it is just, she is such a doll. But it's great up there.
Yeah.
I have been to the Jenny Wade house. I did make it there.
Good.
But
that's a neat place too.
It is. It's very bizarre because somehow in my mindset back then there weren't a lot of two-story buildings other than commercial.
Yeah.
So for them to go upstairs, knock the hole in the wall, and then go downstairs.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. But
go ahead.
I was going to say, I guess because of the direction the enemy fire was coming from, that was probably the easiest way. It just seemed a little backwards crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. But it kind of upsetting to me though, because I mean, obviously the park rangers there are kind of, you can't be out after dark and stuff. But I've heard, I don't know this for a fact, but while I was in Gettysburg, I was told by several different people that they recently got stricter, and they're not even sending tickets now. And during the daytime, if you're caught ghost hunting, you have ghost hunting equipment out, they'll give you a ticket right there just for ghost hunting.
Really?
During the day, because it's because everyone wants to ghost hunt in Gettysburg, it's become a problem for them. So if they see ghost hunting equipment out, even during the day, they'll give you a ticket. That's what I heard. I don't know for a fact.
What kind of law would that be though?
I don't know. I don't know at all. But it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, not that you can own a whole town, but if I owned Gettysburg, I would certainly not discourage the paranormal. I mean, the paranormal is a huge tourist attraction for that town. I mean, that and the Civil War history behind it.
I mean, but with so many people up there, so many tourists, I mean, everybody's got a video camera. Everybody's got a camera. But I guess if you have a K2 meter or a voice recorder, you're busted.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's not true, but I had a couple different sources tell me that, so kind of a bummer.
Well, that's why you go for the new stuff that nobody's seen yet.
Yeah.
So you can take it and play with it, and, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it's like the new periscope that came out. It's like a little rainbow tube thing. It's got a bunch of little tubes on it, and as energy passes it, it lights up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, we had one on an investigation here in Marshall not too long ago. That is the coolest thing. Because, I mean, I'm watching, you know, the person who owned it put it down and walk around it and everything else, and nothing. We're standing clear across the room, and all of a sudden it starts lighting up.
Yeah.
And we were in a hotel, but the only place in the actual hotel where there's electricity is the bottom floor. We were on the 8th floor.
Uh-huh.
So we were 7 floors above anything, and this thing went crazy for a little bit. It was neat.
Yeah.
But just tell them, oh no, it's just something the kids play with. Don't tell the cops in Gettysburg. You know what it is.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're giving tickets. Or, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I feel like if I was a park ranger in Gettysburg, I would definitely get fired, because instead of doing my rounds, I just sit there with a digital recorder.
Well, that's why I always wear a hoodie, because you can put the digital recorder in your hoodie pocket and no one ever sees it.
Right.
I'm notorious for that one. Going, you know, antique shopping with the voice recorder in my hoodie pocket. Yeah. Hey, I've gotten some good stuff doing that, though, so just saying.
Well, it works. I'm just lucky. I just don't get caught.
Well, I can see it if it's at nighttime. They don't want people, you know, up there, especially, not everybody, but there are people who go out there just to mess with stuff. So I can understand them not wanting people there at night. But during the daytime, I mean, there's hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you could restrict it, and how you could justify, you know, oh, I'm sorry, you have a blinky light in here.
Exactly. I don't see the justification behind that.
No.
I mean, how can you ban K2s?
Right. Or a millimeter. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just using it for the temperature.
Yeah.
I mean, it could work. Well, Nick.
Well, I wouldn't push your luck, but anything's possible.
No, I'm not going to, because every time I go through there, I get in trouble. So it's best I just stay out of there altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're down to the last couple minutes, Nick. Do you have a website where people can get a hold of you? I know they can get a hold of you on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I'm very active on Facebook, and but my website for my team is www.redemptionparanormal.com, and I'll put that in the chat room too. But yeah, you can get in touch with me through that. The best way is definitely through Facebook, and I also Twitter. I'm trying to get used to Twitter, but I'm resisting, but there is a Twitter out there.
Yeah, I started a Twitter, and after about the 4th time it told me I was using too many letters, I got ticked off and stopped using it.
Yeah, Twitter is definitely the new thing, but call me, you know, whatever, but I have a hard time getting used to it.
Hey, he was a Civil War soldier before. He's just now getting used to computers. Leave him alone. He doesn't need the Twitter.
I know, right? Technology's going so fast.
It is. Well, Nick, I want to thank you so very much for coming on tonight, and hopefully we will get to run into each other soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys, and with that, I am going to skedaddle out of here. Hopefully, Eric makes it next week. Thank you. Check in every night. Something live, something different. Monday, I would say it, but I don't have my paper in front of me. But Mary can tell you who our guest is for Monday. Oh, yeah. But with that, I'm getting out of here because I have nothing else to say, and that's almost amazing. With that, good night. It was too late.
Yeah.
You're like, Mom would have got a booth. Yeah. And you said, Mom would have got a booth. We'd have been all over this. And
oh, yeah, for sure.
But it was
absolutely.
It was on an odd day. It was like a Thursday when you posted, or a Wednesday.
Yeah. It was just it wasn't really heavily advertised either. They just had like one poster hanging up somewhere.
Ooh. Yeah,
that's right.
We've got postcards from here to Canada and back, I think. But Redemption Paranormal, I kind of know why you got into the metaphysical side because of Mom, but what made you decide, okay, I'm going to make my own team and go out there and conquer the world?
Well, I mean, my mom's, it all goes back to my mom. I mean, my mom also, she was a member of some groups early on. Eventually, I got older, and I really wanted to go out. So my mom took me, and I enjoyed it. I started getting really into it, studying things on my own. And then eventually I got to the point where I was going out with my mom's team. I got to know the team a little bit, and they started to they liked me, and they invited me to be a member. So that was how I initially got involved in it all.
So I have to ask, what did the guys at school say? Yeah, we were at the Texas Paranormal Unity Fest that weekend.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of missed each other again. It seems like every time we end up at an event, you're somewhere on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
I think the last time we were at, where were we? We were at Full Moon Tattoo and Horror, and you guys were at the Stanley Hotel.
Yeah. Yep.
So
eventually we'll be at the same convention, maybe.
Eventually, well, ours isn't that far from you. If you guys, want to show up and get a booth and hang out.
Heck yeah.
It's May 3rd and 4th up at the Shanley Hotel. We've also got the Senior Center directly across the street, so we can mix and match and not have everybody all bundled up together.
Nice, that's awesome.
And you're in Pennsylvania or Ohio?
Ohio.
I couldn't remember. There's that thing right there.
Yes, I'm currently living in Athens, Ohio, which is towards, I guess it's close towards West Virginia.
Right. Well, it's not too awful far.
No, it's not too bad.
No, because I remember about a month ago, one of the guys in your dorm or something had mentioned that there was a metaphysical festival going on, and you're like, dang it, no one told me till...
Got a box full of batteries ready to go, and everyone's itching to start this show. Got our logo tees, driving black SUVs, and that one bald guy with a slick goatee. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. Well, there's a party and you're invited. We got the cameras set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is your big brother Mike calling. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. That's right.
Hi everybody and welcome to PEMA TV. It is April 5th, 2013 and no Yeti again. I'd like to remind everybody that in 1 month, Lower Catskills Paracon, Napanock, New York, at the Shanley Hotel in the Shivangi Valley Senior Center. It's a dual venue event. We have lots of speakers. We still have vendors booths available. We don't have any of the only rooms left we have at the Shanley are investigator rooms, which is basically bring a sleeping bag or bring an air mattress, because all the beds are taken now. We are sold out. There are 2 weeks left on the network to get your tickets with the discounts. The bigger the package, the more the discount. So if you need your tickets, run over there and grab them real quick, because there's 2 weeks left and then they go away and everything becomes a la carte. And with that being said, my guest tonight is Nick Lantz. He is the founder and lead investigator for Redemption Paranormal. He is he's sensitive. He's a radio host for Your Spirit Beacon, lecturer, researcher, writer, and apparently he does a whole lot of events, but we seem to completely miss each other every single time. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Lantz. Hi, Nick.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. I know college and Friday nights tend to get a little busy.
A little bit.
So, what was your last event? Were you at Phenomenology?
Yeah, it was. That was an incredible event. That's my mom and mine. That's her favorite event. We always have a great time there.
Shadow on the wall that looks like a man. Lord, that lamp just moved on that stand. I got movement in the cellars, I got footsteps in the hall. There's no time to waste, I better make some calls. I gotta get ready, make everything right, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. This old house has a long history. It should be real good for activity. And we got the house wired for sound and got motion alarm setting all around.